One of the problems that people seem to encounter when using the Generations program with the automatic digitizer is always ending up with that really thick satin outline from images. Now I'm going to show you how to draw an image yourself and to what settings to use to get the different effects. So to start with, I'm going to use Zona Draw 5. You can use your own vector drawing program. I'm going to select a circle and just drag it. Now I'm going to actually hit my Convert to Curves, select the node, adjustment tool, hold down my Shift key, and then I can just drag that down. I'm going to click off, and I'm just going to not hold down my Shift key this time, but I'm going to drag this out just a fraction and a little bit out at the sides. Okay, so now I roughly have an apple shape. I'm just going to use my freehand tool now to just draw in a stalk. Now I use a Wacom digitizing tablet because I find it much easier to draw with that, but you can still use your mouse. Okay, so we have an apple. Now you will notice on my settings on this right hand side, it allows me to decide what sort of an outline and width and color that I want to use. So you can see the pencil tool, and the type of outline I'm using is a straight line, and I'm making the width 0.30 of a millimeter. This will mean that anything under that Generation treats as a running outline. Anything over that and you will get a satin outline. I can change the color by just clicking on whatever I want. Once I've made those changes, everything must be selected and I hit that little green tick mark. Now I can go to File, Export, and I can export to whichever folder I want to use. Now I'm going to just drop this into my Apple lesson folder and just call it Apple 1. And it's a WMF, which means it's a vector image. And I'm just going to say save. All my my boxes here are ticked, and I'm going to click OK. Now if I open the Generations program and take that in, it will actually just give me a nice running outline. Now whilst we're still in the Zona Draw program, this time I'm going to select my fill tool. Now you'll notice that I have a white color selected. I'm just going to change that to green, and I'm going to hit the tick. Now you'll notice it's filled the apple with the green color. Now this time I'm going to just click off and select that stalk and change that to brown. Now I still have that running outline around the edge. If I don't want an outline around my automatically digitized design, then what I can do is select everything, go back to my pencil or line tool and select none and make the changes. Now you can see that I've got the apple without an outline. Now if I select that little bit there, I can actually move that down, and then I can actually change the order of where that actually is selected. So at the moment we did that second, so that's on top. By using this arrow up here, I can move it to the back, and I can use my little arrow keys on my keyboard to move that. Now if I take that into Generations, we get the stalk and we get the apple and we get no outline. So again, I'm going to drag to select everything, go to File, Export, and this time I'm going to save it as Apple 2. And click Save. And OK. Whilst it's still selected, I'm going to go back, make it a running outline, make it a single outline. Now I'm going to change this to 2 and tick. Now you can see I've got a much wider outline. I might even make that down to 1.5. If I take this into Generations, then I will get a satin outline. I can actually change the color so that it's not one continuous Saturn outline. So I'm going to select that part and change that color to blue. Now I will have two separate Saturn outlines. They will not be one continuous outline. So once again, I'm going to File, Export. This time we'll make it Apple 3 and click Save and OK. I'm going to select it all and I'm going to select None and remove that outline. I can, if I want to, select that apple, go into my fill, and then instead of having a solid type fill, I can actually have a linear fill. And if I change the color, now you'll notice this has got 50 steps. I'll just show you what 50 steps does. It makes a gradient type fill. If I change this down to 8, it gives it a more shaded fill. If I actually go into the edit menu, you can see those 8 different shades. I can add another color. So if I wanted to add a darker green into it, now you can see the actual variation. Now I can slide this around to change that shading. The more colors I add, the more shady areas I get in the way of the stripes, etc. Now that angle is also set at 0. I can change the angle. Click OK. Now I've got an apple that has got some colors across it. If I take that into generations, I will get different colors. It depends on how closely related these colors are on what generations does with it. So just to show you, I'm now going to go to File, Export, and save this as Apple 4. And OK.